Assistant Commander here, and we have a very special episode today. So I was looking at my analytics, and it became very apparent to me that a lot of you guys watching my content are native Spanish speakers. So to help you guys with the experience of watching my channel, I decided to hire a personal translator. Everybody meet Pablo.
Hey guys.
So, Pablo here is going to translate for me for everything I say. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
No sé dónde está. Este hombre me volvió de mi familia. Por favor, yo necesito ayuda. Por favor.
Today we're going to be talking about Toy Soldiers of San Diego and one of their most popular sets, the Semper Marine. So, this set is a very high quality, high dollar set, and we're going to be taking a closer look at them and why they're so great today.
No me puede ganar agua. ¿Dónde está mi familia, señor? ¿Dónde está?
Alright, calm down, kid. You're getting germs on me. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the content. Thanks, Pablo, for all your help.
Puto.
I love you too, buddy. Wow. Now, isn't that Pablo character just such a nice gentleman? Although it's going to be very difficult to get those stains out of my carpet. But anyway, today we're looking at another set, my Toy Soldiers of San Diego. So to kind of round out all of their World War II American soldier sets, we're going to finally be looking at the Semper Marines. So this is a very, very nice set and a must-have if you're starting to collect Toy Soldiers of San Diego. Toy Soldiers of San Diego. Because this was actually the first Toy Soldiers of San Diego set I picked up. I actually didn't really have much of an interest for TSSD, and part of that was because I always thought the figures, as nicely detailed and beautiful as they were kind of overpriced, as well as the fact I just don't really like how they curve. Although you can very easily fix that by using hot water. So, get an up-close look at a lot of these figures here. So very beautiful, and this is probably my favorite figure, or my second favorite figure actually, in the whole set. It's this one Marine with the tops and submachine gun, just cocked and ready to fire it. And what's interesting is a lot of Toy Armyman sets, the submachine gunner typically fires from the hip. In most Armyman sets, I guess they copy Airfix a little bit, because I think when it comes to Armyman, well, no. Marks also did it. Marks also had figures from World War II who had submachine guns who fired from the hip. So it's very nice to have one that's firing properly. And of course, something I pointed out with the detailing in these figures is that their ammo pouches are the same. So if you look at this guy, his ammo on his belt, the pouch is made specifically for a Thompson machine gun with how rectangular they are. They can hold the magazines. And the gun is also nicely detailed. You see the grooves in the underbarrel. And also you see the eject right there. So really, really nice. And of course all the faces are detailed too. Just a quick piece of history. So you ever notice how in a lot of TV shows about World War II and movies, a lot of soldiers, a lot of American soldiers especially, don't strap in their helmets. So, as you can see, this guy has his across the top, although weirdly enough, also to the sides. But, the reason for this was because a lot of soldiers believed, and even a lot of generals believed, that if you had your strap on for your helmet and a grenade explosion happened near you, it could break your neck. That was one reason. Another reason was, let's say you're about to storm Normandy, right? And, you're about to storm Normandy, and you're climbing off of the ship down the nets. If you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, you'll know that they climb down nets on the sides of the ships into the U-boats, or the Higgins boats. Well, they would keep their helmets unstrapped while they did that, because they were afraid if they fell into the water, then, the helmet could drag them down, or the helmet would make it harder to come back up. So they kept them unstrapped so it would just fall off, and you wouldn't or that it would choke you and help you drown. So there were a lot of small myths like that. Like, even in a lot of training videos, a lot of soldiers would keep their helmets unbuckled all the way up to Vietnam. A lot of those rumors were believed. So Eventually, the later versions of the M1 and a few of the versions of the new helmets, I can't remember what the newer helmets were called. The straps were a lot lighter, so they could just break easily. So, a little piece of World War II history for you. So, take a look at this guy who looks like he's holding out a bayonet. And again, detail's great. M1 Grand Pouch, so it's correct to the rifle. The rifle itself, tons and tons of detailing. A little bit of curvature. Again, we could talk all day about that issue, but really, that's just because the plastic is super soft. And to get this level of detail, you have to have the plastic this soft, just to carve out. Like, when it comes to Mars, their figures are really solid. And I like Mars just a little bit more than TSSD. But also, TSSD has way more detail, way more individual detail to each figure. So, like, look at this guy's face. Down to the eyeball, pretty much. Just beautiful, beautiful face. Even a little tear in the pants there. Just small stuff like that makes these figures just so awesome. And of course, one detail you'll notice is that the ground has palm leaves on it. You can barely make those out, but it's a jungle floor. Because the Pacific Theater took place on a lot of the islands around Japan that they had in their circle. So we got this guy here. This guy is probably like my third favorite. Tops in one hand, and he has a radio in the other. I can't remember what this radio is called. And then he has a Colt 45 holstered on a chest holster, which is a really cool detail. You just do not see this level of detail. And I also believe that these figures, or this set, was made by, or the original sculpts of these figures were made by King and Country. They started out as metal miniatures that you could buy, but then eventually TSSD decided to make, or they got the permission to make plastic army men of them. So I don't own any King and Country miniatures just because they're so expensive. So eventually one day I'll get to that. So another one of my favorites. You know what? Forget it. These are all my favorites. Okay. We got this guy right here, bayonet in one hand, shovel in the other, ready to get some hand-to-hand combat action. Canteen on his belt. Really, really cool. This is the stance I take when I've had too much to drink at Chili's and someone says toy army men are lame. I pull out the bayonet and the shovel that I always keep on me, especially when I go to Chili's, so I can engage them in hand-to-hand combat. And we got this guy back here in the back. And it looks like he has a satchel in his hand. So a really interesting detail. Personally, I think an ammo can would have been a much more fitting piece to hold, but looks like that might be a medical bag. And a lot of detail to the face. His rifle's also real detailed. And also, these bayonets are pretty sharp. Like, I was messing with these in my bed because I'm a depressed person, and that's where I spend most of my time each day. And I was just, like, poking it against my bed sheet, and I poked a hole. So, you don't really get that. Usually, army-men bayonets are real fragile, but these are pretty sturdy, and they're pretty sharp, too. It's a good thing these figures don't come to life, or they definitely would have murdered me by now. So, next, we have, of course, the crouching and shooting guy, and he has a BAR automatic rifle. Really, really cool, and his ammo pouch is correct for a BAR. He has a lot of stuff on him, bayonet, cross belts. Really, really cool. These are great figures to paint, too. If you're interested in painting miniatures, definitely pick up some Toy Soldiers of San Diego. I don't, like I've said before, I don't like painting my more expensive figures just because I don't want to ruin them. I'm not a very artistic person, so I don't really spend time painting them. But finally, probably my favorite figure is this guy, who he looks like he can be slung over like a log, aiming his pistol. You can definitely see this guy at Guadalcanal. If you don't know anything about World War II or Guadalcanal. Guadalcanal was one of the first major battles between Japan and the US, at least boots on the ground battles between infantry. Guadalcanal is an island that's above Australia, and it was one of the chokeholds that needed to be held in order to keep Australia safe. So when the American Marines first landed there, they were really, really underfunded, and they didn't have much decent equipment. Like, if you've ever seen the show Pacific on HBO, you'll know that the Marines didn't get nearly as many resources as other branches of the military did. And, like, they're going on the beach with Maxim guns, they have boots that have rips in them. Like, they're just, really, they aren't properly equipped to handle a war, and they pulled through. So on Guadalcanal, basically about 800 Marines were sieged upon by about 3,000 Japanese soldiers in a bonsai chart. When talking about the Battle of Guadalcanal, it's very important to bring up one of the heroes of that battle, John Basilone. John Basilone was born in 1916, and he joined the Marine Corps right before the outbreak of World War II. He would get his first taste of combat, however, on the island of Guadalcanal, where his machine gun section and another machine gun section spent hours holding off thousands of Japanese invaders. He would earn the Medal of Honor for this after only him and 2 other soldiers survived, as well as the fact he carried an overheating Maxim machine gun in his bare hands from one position to another. This action also would help him earn the Medal of Honor. He would then go on to be the poster boy for the Marine Corps, helping generate war bonds and revenue to help keep the Marines fighting the Japanese. But, however, in 1945, he would want a taste of combat again, and he would end up training a Marine platoon to fight alongside him. So, after training them, they would all be sent to Iwo Jima. On the first day of the fighting, though, he would help M1 Sherman navigate through a minefield where he would then be shot and killed in action. A great loss of a great man. And basically, in Guadalcanal, they were sieged upon and they managed to survive. And it was a miracle, and it was all across the newspapers. The Japanese called the Marines bloodthirsty mental patients in the newspaper. It's really cool. And this guy just screams "Last Stand." Like, he's missing his boot, and you can see each of his toes. Just beautiful detail. He has a grenade in one hand. There's his canteen. And he looks like he whipped out his sidearm because he ran out of ammo in his main weapon. So, really cool. This is just a beautiful, beautiful set of figures, like all Toy Soldiers of San Diego. And like I've said before, you can find these at Mick Sean's Closet, either the website or the eBay store. I think the prices are the same for both. Sometimes the website has some deals going on that may be specific to the website, although usually they're pretty much the same on eBay as well. So I usually buy from eBay. That's where I get most of my Army men. I know a lot of you guys ask me that. And Mick Sean's is probably the #1 store I buy TSSD from, just because they have the most fair prices, and also they own TSSD, as far as I know. So, Toy Soldiers of San Diego, Semper Fi Marines, oorah. Listen, buddy, I'm not so much concerned about the blood in the carpet as I am about the smell, because if my landlord is able to get a whiff of that, they're definitely going to be coming by to ask me some questions, and I don't really like answering questions, if you know what I mean. So, I'm going to need you up here to get this clean by Sunday, at least. Okay, great. I love you too, Mom. So, thanks for watching the video. Also, make sure you like and subscribe for more Army Men related content. The next episode is going to be a holiday themed one, so look out for that. And you can find notifications for those new episodes in my Discord. We are at 36 members on the Discord, and we have a lot of fun there every day. For my Discord members, I'm sorry I haven't been very active the last few days. The last few days have just been kind of hectic, and I haven't had a lot of time to get on. But I will be trying to make a much better effort to talk to you guys and talk to you guys about video ideas and stuff like that. So if you want to talk to me or anyone else who's into Army Men, please join that, as well as our subreddit, Plastic Toy Dudes, where you can find tons of Army Men related content. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Bye. And cut. God. Yeah.